how's it going? Today, let's take a detailed look at the 2014 Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the G63. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, as well as show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And before we begin, I'd like to extend a big shout out and special thanks to Mercedes-Benz of South Charlotte, located in Pineville, North Carolina, for allowing me to come out and film the very unique 2014 Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG. And so, without further ado, let's go and start her up, let her run. The exterior color is known as Magnetite Black, featuring the premium Diseño exclusive diamond quilted Napa leather interior with AMG sport leather bucket seats, as well as real carbon fiber gracing the doors, dash, and center console. What an amazing sound. The new G63 now features electromechanical recirculating ball power steering versus the G55's hydraulic unit, and a fully modern 4-spoke leather and wood trim steering wheel. While there are a few wood choices to pick from, this one features the black piano veneer, nicely contrasted with satin aluminum trim highlighting the spokes as well as the multifunction controls. The G-Class has always set itself apart by its off-road capabilities. In addition to brake force distribution, it also features a 4-wheel electronic traction control system that can help you regain traction even if only one wheel is able to get a grip. It also features rigid axles, permanent 4-wheel drive with low range, and a limited slip differential. But what really makes the G unique is its 3 locking differentials, located via the silver buttons of the dash, designated 1, 2, and 3, or center, rear, and front respectively, helping to balance torque and traction for off-road scenarios. But we'll delve further into the G63's capabilities in just a little bit. As far as the gearbox, new for the G63 is AMG's Speed Shift 7-speed automated manual gearbox controlled via the unique AMG gear selector in the middle. To activate drive, just put your foot on the brake and pull it back, half a click up for neutral, and then push all the way up for reverse. To put the vehicle in park, just hit the P located right behind the selector. And once you put the vehicle in reverse, your backup camera appears in your new 7-inch LCD display. Amongst the gear selector, you have your windshield deicer, low range activation, and transmission shift controller, composed of controlled efficiency, for the most relaxed, smoothest riding portion of the vehicle and for best fuel economy. It also has the auto start stop feature, which I'll talk about later in the video. Sport mode increases the shift points of the vehicle, while manual mode allows for full manual shiftability via the paddles behind the steering wheel with rev mounting downshifts. All accented in AMG specific embossed leather with an aluminum housing. And so, we're going to flip on the automatic projector headlamps, rear fog lamps, as well as the hazards. Naturally, all 4 windows are fully automatic, with power folding mirrors. And we'll go and check out the exterior, shall we? The Mercedes G-Class represents a very unique niche market, combining hardcore off-road ability with the handcrafted refinement and luxury you would expect from a high-dollar SUV. It's a member of the seemingly disappearing body-on-frame SUV market, but triumphantly marches forward thanks to record sales and a new dose of performance and refinement. While it may not make sense to some to combine performance and off-road, it's one of those vehicles that you just can't help but appreciate the fact that it even exists in today's market. This uniqueness is what's always given the G-Class its cult following over the years. It's rugged, powerful, and capable, and has never strayed from those three ideals. Since the mid-1990s, the G-Class has moved more towards the luxury side of the off-road spectrum than some of its earlier iterations, but it's still never lost that rugged feel and demeanor. Same goes for styling. The iconic shape and profile has essentially continued unchanged, which is very impressive considering it's the longest produced Mercedes-Benz in history, spanning an incredible 35 years since the first civilian G-Wagon was released in 1979. The G-Class is entirely hand-built under contract from Mercedes by Magna Steyr in Graz, Austria, and has been since 1979. All in all, it takes about 10 days to complete one G-Class. Magna has also produced a few other familiar models such as BMW's X3 and the Mini Countryman. Just like some of the other most iconic cars over the past third of a century, the G-Class has evolved slowly, and when comparing models 20 or 30 years older, you'll see a familiar greenhouse, windshield rags, slab sides, and upright profile. Even more so in the 1990s, you'll see similar interior themes. Of course, the G-Class has evolved ever so slightly since the 463 generation was introduced in 1990, with multiple engines, luxurious interiors, and the addition of AMG variants with subtle styling tweaks to match. In fact, just last year for 2013, it was refreshed once again for a more modern look. These changes include restyled bumpers and a more aggressive front clip with larger air intakes for AMG models that feed the cooling system and intercooler, LED daytime running lamps, revised LED turn signal mirrors, and unique twin-bar AMG grille. The G63 is also wider than the G550 by 4.5 inches thanks to more pronounced fender flares. It also features an all-new, fully modern interior with the latest advances in technology, safety, build quality, and comfort, which leaves previous years in the dust. The new G63 also replaces the outgoing G55 and features a complete powertrain upgrade. Replacing the supercharged V8 of the G55 is a new twin-turbocharged V8 that's now mounted to AMG's SpeedShift 7-speed auto like I touched on earlier, which improves efficiency and performance over the G55's 5-speed auto. Along with the rest of the Mercedes lineup that features this engine, it also gets a standard auto start-stop feature that aids in a 13% increase in fuel economy. So what does the G in G-Class stand for? It actually stands for Geländewagen, which is German for cross-country vehicle. The capabilities relate to the G's military history and the need to be able to attack any terrain on demand. It features 3 locking differentials like I talked about earlier, with a low-range transfer case and a recalibrated 4-wheel electronic traction control system. With full-time electronically controlled 4-wheel drive that splits the torque equally between the front and rear wheels, limited slip rear differential and rigid axles, it's able to ascend seemingly impossible grades in rocky terrain. The chassis itself is actually a prime and powder-coated ladder frame for increased longevity. It's composed of sheet metal with a thickness up to 4 mm, in addition to solid longitudinal sections and beefed-up crossmembers. This heavy-gauge frame acts as a protective barrier to key mechanical components below, such as the fuel tank. 2013, the G-Class also saw the introduction of all of the latest safety innovations from adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, as well as parking assist. In regards to wheels and tires, the G63 features unique 5-spoke 20 by 9.5 inch AMG alloys that can be had in either satin black with machined lip or in polished trim, wrapped in 275/50 Yokohama Advan performance tires. Stopping power is provided by 4-wheel, ventilated, and cross-drilled disc brakes with newly optional red-branded AMG calipers. The brakes measure 14.8 inches in front with 6-piston fixed calipers and 13 inches in the rear with single-piston sliding calipers. For such a large vehicle, these brakes do wonders in bringing it to a stop in impressive distances. It only takes an average of 113 feet to stop from 60 miles an hour, which is impressive for any vehicle. As far as the suspension, the G63 features solid live axles both front and rear with coil springs, gas shocks, longitudinal and transverse links with stabilizer bar up front.